This episode of The Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by
Connections Restored, helping people who have suffered from trauma, PTSD, and addictions. Connect with us at connectionsrestored.com. Connections Restored.
Hi friends, how are you doing today? I am so excited to talk to you guys today about episode 31, Why People Burn Out. Have you guys ever done that? Have you ever arrived at a space in your life where you are completely burnt out from your passion, you're completely burnt out from your family, you're completely burnt out from life? You just want to sleep, you want to rest, you want to run away, you want to do all the things that take you away, Calgon, take you away, right? For those of you who are new to my audience, my name is Amy Boswinkle. I'm an intuitive and a transformational business coach. I am so excited to talk to you guys today about episode 31 of Connections Restored TV. And that is Why People Burn Out. I am an affiliate of the Bill and Callie Show Network. Bill and Callie are absolutely phenomenal people, and I will tell you more about them at the end of this episode. So why do people burn out? Why do people burn out, right? I get asked this question all the time, and in fact, this is the perfect time of year for people to experience burnout. And why is that? It's because the seasons here in Northwest Indiana are changing, and you may be living in a climate or an area where you do not get season change, but there's a shift occurring, right, with the way that the planets revolve around the sun. And I'm not going to get too woo on you guys, but as we are moving, right, on this planet Earth that we all live on, it rotates and goes through all kinds of cycles, and it is going through a cycle right now where people our bodies are changing. Right here in Northwest Indiana, we're vastly approaching that time of year where the weather is changing. It is going from warm to cold to rainy to windy to sun to all the things in between. And we're actually experiencing a little less sun than normal. And we're all kind of like, oh my goodness, where's the sun? We have to create our own sun here. But the body shifts along with the way that the planet moves. And when I worked at a health food store, I worked at a health food store for 12 and a half years. It's actually where I came up with my five-step approach to health to help people understand why their body is going through certain things and how to create infinite health within the body. And the digestion changes during this time of year, right? Our sleep patterns change this time of year. Our brain chemicals shift and change a little bit this time of year because the body has to adjust to the way that the planets are shifting, right? And as we're experiencing that, the body needs a little bit of a break. When we're going through the spring and the summertime, the body's in a state of renewal, right? So think about seasons changing, right? Spring is when the trees and the flowers are blooming. They're coming up. They're finding space in this world. They're navigating towards the sun, and they're like really expressing themselves, and they're really feeling very happy. And in the fall and the winter time, it's a time of hibernation. It's a time of rest. So it's about transformation in the body, transformation in the mind, and allowing ourselves space and grace to be in that place. So we have to slow down. We have to allow ourselves to connect more to things that are more relaxing. Right? That might be napping, that might be meditation, that might be yoga, that might be all sorts of things. I'm a runner, right? I love running. It is one of my absolute favorite things to do, and I love to do it in the spring. I love to do it in the summer. I am not so much a winter runner. I like to put on tons of layers. I like to have blankets on me, and I like to snuggle up, and I like to feel really, really warm in the wintertime, right? So I'm more prone to go towards hot yoga or indoor exercise activities. And even though I am a runner, I don't really like running on the treadmill. So I go more towards the elliptical or taking classes at my gym. And I love those things, right? But I'm listening to my body. This is where I feel most people fall off track. They believe that they need to sustain, and I'm going to say that word again, need, right? That they need to sustain the energy, the optimal energy level that they had during the spring and the summertime. And really, it's about taking that step back and allowing ourselves to be in that space of reflection rather than reaction, and allowing ourselves to connect to our body's own innate signals, which I personally wasn't taught how to do. But once I learned it, I'm a huge advocate of teaching people. Are you listening to the signals of your body? What are signals? Well, signals are your emotions. If you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling burnt out, if you're lacking passion, if you are feeling the need to hibernate, if you're sleeping more often, if you're experiencing more anxiety, if any of those things are occurring, they're signals that your body is out of alignment with what it needs for you to give it. And I have had so many conversations lately with women that I have talked with over the past 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and they come to me this same exact time every year. I'm going through burnout. I'm not connected to my passion. I'm not excited about my business. I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm lacking all these things. And, we'll have these conversations and I'm like, okay, what are you willing to do about it? What action are you willing to take right now to correct this problem? Well, my life is really busy. I have all of these things going on. And my question then is, how long are you going to prioritize yourself as last? How long? Because we've had the same conversation for 1 year now. We've had the same conversation for 2 years now. We've had the same conversation for 3 years now. How long are you going to prioritize yourself as last? Or if you want to shift it to, how long are you going to continue to put other things first? Because you're important. You are important, because without you, life doesn't evolve, expand, right? When we are depressed, when we are in anxiety, when we are experiencing burnout, when we are lacking passion in our life, the world slows down, right? Because if you're anything like me, your world, when you have energy, your world is just, it's moving and navigating, it's flowing, it's expanding, it's really, really fun. But when your world is lacking creativity, when your world is lacking you waking up and feeling refreshed every morning, when your world is lacking inspiration, when your world is lacking your light, it seems pretty dark. And all of the important people in your life can feel it. Because I would imagine that you, if you're watching this video, are the world to so many other people. And I get that. I totally get that. So what can we do to get you back and engaged in life and get you out of this burnout, right? What I find is that there are a lot of people who don't feel safe being connected to their body. And I am certainly one of those people. And you might be saying, Amy, that's really weird. Like, what do you mean I'm not connected to my body? A lot of times, those of us who have suffered trauma or PTSD or felt that life didn't serve us in some way and we're gravitating towards drinking more alcohol, using drugs, overeating, spending more money, things of that nature, what we're doing is we're numbing out, or we're distracting ourselves, or we're distancing ourselves from ourselves so that we don't have to deal with the reality of what's really going on in our life, because it feels unsafe to be in our body. When it feels unsafe to be in our body, we're not connected to our emotions, we're not connected to our innate signals, we're not connected to life, we're not connected to our light, we're not connected to our creativity, and we're lacking passion. And when that's occurring, it's just a signal that we're out of alignment with who we are supposed to be being right then. When is the last time you allowed yourself to stay in bed all day and sleep or cry, or read a book, or watch movies, or do whatever. Do whatever makes you feel like you're experiencing pleasure rather than pain or sadness or anxiety or burnout. When was the last time you allowed yourself to go to the spa for a day, if that's your thing? When was the last time you got a massage? When was the last time you did something that lit you up? I want you to really think about that. You know, there's a lot of times that we create excuses for ourselves. Well, this is going on and this is going on and I have to do this and I have less childcare and I have all these million, billion things going on. And I get it. We're all busy. We're all really busy. So when are you going to put you into the equation of life? When are you going to prioritize yourself as first? When are you going to allow yourself to have that thing that you keep saying over and over and over again that you want to have? How many years do you want to wait until you prioritize yourself as first? How long do you want that to be? When do you want your light to turn back on? I have a mentor that I've worked with in the past. His name is Jesse Elder, and he has expressed very frequently to us, you know, you can be a lighthouse. And a lighthouse, right, it's a structure that stands on the side of a waterway, right? Like a lighthouse shines its light for the boats to come and navigate in, like, oh, there's hope. Right? When are you going to be the lighthouse? Or are you going to continue to be the tugboat, as he says? Right? The tugboat is what goes out into the water and finds the boats that are in distress and tugs it back to shore. And then it goes back out into the water and it's like, oh, where are the boats? Where are the boats in distress? And it tugs the boats back to shore. Are you going to be a tugboat or are you going to be a lighthouse? Because I know I was a tugboat for a really long time in my life. I was a people pleaser. I was a perfectionist. I was someone who hid in shame. I was someone who hid in guilt. I was someone who lived in fear and anxiety and didn't express myself in life. And as I started to heal my shame and my fear and my guilt and all of the things that I had done in my past, all of the choices that I made because I didn't want to deal with life, because I wanted to numb out, because life was just much too painful for my liking. As I started to heal from all those things, and as I continue to heal from all of those things, and as I will continually evolve and shift and grow for the rest of my life and heal from the things that I experienced in my past, it is really important to me to continually feed my light, my inner light, right? Be connected to my heart, be connected to my true essence, be connected to what lights me up and my passion. And my passion is talking to all of you and letting you all know there is another way. But it is about getting rid of the notion and the belief that we have to prioritize everything else in our life as first and put ourselves last. Because if we continue to do that, we're going to continue to live in cycles of codependency. We're going to continue to live in cycles of lack. We're going to continue to live in cycles of addiction. And in my opinion, the biggest addiction on this planet is the addiction to overthinking, over-addictive thinking, and not taking any action towards the things we say that we want to change in our life. How many of you have done that? I know I've done it. I'm going to raise my hand really high here, right? Like really high and say, you know, there are plenty of times where I can look back in my life and say, I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this. But the truth of the matter is, when we really make an empowered decision around changing our life, we'll arrive at the black and the white place. And the black and the white place is this. We either want what we want more than anything, and we're going to go to any length to have it no matter what. That means changing our actions, changing our behavior, changing our identity, right? Becoming the person who eats healthy. We're going to become the person and create behaviors that is the happier person. We're going to create behaviors and create the person and be the person who has the thing we say we want. Or the other spaces, we just like the idea of it. And if you can just own which space you're in, you've made the empowered decision, you're going to go to any length to have what it is you want no matter what. And you're going to take action. You're going to create new behaviors. You're going to create a new belief system. You're going to recode your emotions so that you become the identity of the person who you say you desire to be. Otherwise, we just like the idea of it. And if we just like the idea of it, great. Don't judge yourself. Judging ourselves is overrated. We are so outdated. That is so in the past, judging ourselves. You just own it with clarity. Just own it with clarity. You know what? This is an idea. I know I keep saying this, but you know what? I just like the idea of it right now. I'm going to put it in my back pocket, and I'm going to pull it out of my back pocket when I'm really ready to make an empowered decision around this choice. And I'm really ready to take action. Because when we do that, we create so much more energy. Our mind isn't over addictively thinking in circles, a tornado mind, I call it with my clients, about I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, and then never taking action around it. And so what we're literally doing is we're creating a lot of storage in our mind, right? Like we're taking away from the storage space by thinking these thoughts and circulating the thought over and over and over again. Because when we're really ready to take action, that energy actually becomes a spiral. And yes, we start off at the bottom, right? If you think of a tornado, right, there's a really tight coil at the bottom, and that circle gets bigger at the top, and we start at the bottom, and we're like, okay, I'm going to open up my creativity. I want to become the person who experiences more inner peace. Okay, what behavior do you need to create? Well, in the beginning, right, where we have to create that new behavior, and there's going to be lots of ideas, but we're not going to know like exactly how to navigate it and how it's going to fit in, and this is our lifestyle, and this is how much time we have, and we're going to create lots of excuses, but we're still going to catch those excuses because we've committed to the journey. We've created the right system. We've gotten the right support. We have the right accountability to keep us on track. We have the right person who is direct but kind and loving, who will call us out directly, right? Not beat around the bush, not be the kind person, not try to not hurt our feelings, but the person who's going to tell us the truth. And sometimes the truth zings us, and sometimes the truth makes us go, whoa, right? But what I found in my own journey is, you know, that zing, the zing of the truth is what allows us to see with clarity in a way that we haven't seen before, and that's what actually creates the change. Because how are we going to change if we can't see ourselves very clearly? If we're still living in the fog? If we're still surrounded by the people who are enabling us to be the disempowered version of ourselves and pat us on the back and be like, it's going to be okay. I know you're sad, but everything's going to be fine. Or the person who actually tells us the truth, right, around why we are where we are, and actually allows us to open up and see the path in front of us and see that the choices are literally this or this, right? And that there are a million paths to the same destination, and that it looks different to all of us. Burnout occurs because people don't prioritize themselves as first. They're continually putting other people first, which means they're living in codependent relationships, which means that they're codependent upon other people in their life. We might be rescuing other people. We might be creating excuses like I need to bring, money into my household. And then we're like, what are we doing? We're continually chasing a paycheck, right? We're continually doing all sorts of things that are out of alignment with us prioritizing ourselves as first. Because when we prioritize ourselves as first, don't we have more energy? Aren't we connected more to our passion? Aren't we connected more to our light, or being a lighthouse rather than being the tugboat? Who do you want to be in this world? How long do you want to continue to live the way that you're living with your light turned off? Experiencing lack of passion, lack of excitement for life, lack of excitement for your purpose, living in debt, not feeling connected and lit up around others, not feeling connected and lit up around your life, feeling unsafe in your body. How long? What's the true cost of that problem? What is the true cost of burnout? Think about that. In 10 years, in 20 years, right? Because remember, I've had conversations with people where they come to me the same time of year every year, and I get it now. I get it, right? Because the feelings, right? Feelings aren't logical. They're not logical. They don't make sense. But feelings load up, and the mind and the body revert back to a period of time, because the body really doesn't understand the concept of time. And we're going to revert back to where we first felt these feelings. And then we're going to ignore it, and we're going to ignore it, and we're going to ignore it. And we continually think that, oh, I'm going to solve this problem when? I'm going to solve this problem when? I'm going to solve this problem when I'm done with this, when I have more money, when this occurs, right? How many more years do you want to put that off? What is the true cost of your problem? Because in 10 years, you're going to wake up one day and worse than burnout. What does stress and burnout do to the physical body and time in 10 years? Right? How many people on this planet have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, lifestyle disease? What food choices are we making? When we don't feel safe in our body, then we're living in our mind, and that means we're not connected to our body and our body's signals. This is why burnout occurs. This is why people are not connected to their passion. And this is why we are the tugboat. And this is why we are not connected to our passion, right? So we can shift this by starting to connect to our body's innate signals. When we are experiencing frustration, anger, burnout, anxiety, fear, doubt, uncertainty, those are signals that we're out of alignment with who we should be being. And so then once you've identified where you're out of alignment, what action, what behavior change do you need to create in your life so that you can be more connected to you? Do you need to go and get a massage? Do you need to sleep and stay in bed all day? Do you need to cry? Do you need to read a book? Do you need to tell everybody to get out of the house for 2 hours? Right? All of these things that we're like too afraid to do. What do we need to do? Do you need to go and stay in a hotel by yourself for the weekend? You know how many women are afraid to do that I talk to? But that's what they want more than anything. They just want quiet. They want peace. They want to connect to themselves, but they can't do that because X, Y, and Z. But if you did do that, just imagine for a moment that you could, even if you feel like you can't, just imagine for a moment that you could. Give yourself 2 hours, 4 hours, 2 days. What might you be able to fill your cup up with energetically, physically, that you don't have right now? And when you do that, how much more energy, how much more passion, how much more inner peace are you actually going to have that next week so that you can do the things that light you up, so that you can be a lighthouse to the other important people in your life, so that you can be connected to your passion, so that your smile comes back, so that all the things that you love to do come rushing back into your life. How long do you want to continue to live in burnout? And what are you willing to do to shift that? When will you prioritize yourself as first? If this video has spoken to you in any way, please feel free to reach out to me. I have just recently, my VA and I have gotten a white light meditation that I did several years ago together, and I have been offering that to my community for free because it really is my desire to, give back to the world what has been so graciously given to me. And what has been given back to me is my inner peace, is my light, is my happiness, is my joy, is my love for life. Things I never thought that I could have it again. Having been someone who has suffered from childhood sexual abuse and alcohol and drugs and DUIs and all sorts of things, all sorts of choices that I made in my life. So this is a completely free thing that I'm offering to people. It is my white light meditation. It's the first time I'm offering this for free. I've gotten amazing feedback from people. I've offered it in my community, as I stated a moment ago, and people are giving me so much feedback on it. It has opened up creativity. I have had people write poetry over this. I've had people say that it's cleared up old wounds just from listening to this. It's a little over an hour of free meditation to help you clear all of the energetic blocks in your chakras. So if this interests you, please feel free to reach out to me either through my business page, Connections Restored, or personally on Facebook here in Messenger, Amy Boswinkle. I would love to give you this white light meditation just to help you work through issues. Thank you again so much for your time, friends. I always love coming on and talking to you every week. Again, this is episode 31 of Connections Restored TV. I am Amy Boswinkle. I am an intuitive and a transformational business coach of body, mind, and soul, helping people connect back to themselves and create transformational change in their life and their business. And I am honored, deeply honored to have talked to you today about how to release burnout in your life and connect back to yourself, connect back to your life. I am an affiliate of the Bill and Callie Show Network. Bill and Callie are absolutely phenomenal people. Please make sure to like and follow their business page, The Bill and Callie Show. Please make sure to like and follow my business page, Connections Restored. And I will see you all again next week. I can't wait. Take care. Bye-bye.
This episode of The Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by
Connections Restored, helping people who have suffered from trauma, PTSD, and addictions. Connect with us at connectionsrestored.com. Connections Restored.